Welcome back to City Skylines with SleeplessRonin. This is the second in the video on the town of Springwood, which is the name that the game has default given me, because I have yet to change the name at all. Last time I showed a brief overview of the map and many of the mods I'm using. Today I'm going to show where I'm at now, which I've progressed the town quite far. As you can see at the bottom, my population is at 3,663, slowly going up. I'm losing money, which is probably because of all the networks I've been creating so far, without actually having paid for them. No, I paid for them, but I'm just losing money right now because I'm not making enough from all the buildings I plopped down without actually having built up around them. So I'm going to pause the game really quickly, and we can begin exploring the map as I've laid it out now. So past this area, I've been planning for a new addition to my cities. My cities are further up north. I've laid out a three-line rail station. This line is industrial. This line is undetermined so far. And this line right here is going to go off into the distance. I have it splitting further out here to areas I haven't laid down the industry for. Looking to put in an ore industry, probably another farm. Going to build a city section up here. Let's go into this region right now. This is actually the second region I built, but it's one I quite like. Got a couple buildings flashing with some warnings, but that's okay. It's not really a big problem. Turn back on the action so far. This is essentially a small little local highway that I have going into a roundabout. Over here be a commercial center with hotels, gas stations, restaurants, and a couple of adult entertainment centers. Got multiple hotels. I've got Courtyards by Marriott. I've got a Super 8. I've got the Spring Hill Suites and a Sleep Inn, all surrounding this lovely Love's parking lot. There's a few residential buildings. Adult businesses with a pun for a bar. If we're driving down the highway, you need to see that Love's gas prices are reflected on the sign outside. A couple billboards and advertisements. Then over here is a lovely little village. I haven't yet given this a name. We have the local high school, which needs a name as well. I'll come up with one later on. Though the mascot is... I have to recheck those assets. They seem to have sunk since the last time I loaded the game. It's supposed to be a wolf and a name of the high school up there, but they've disappeared below for some unknown reason. I need to check that and see if I can't lock them into position. We have a historical and cultural center on this side with some statues, a wonderful town hall kind of like building, a large park, surrounded by dense residential, a library, and dense commercial, or actually office complexes. Up on the hilltop, you've got an elementary school, multiple well-to-do houses, apartment block, and all these things are connected by very well-used footpaths for the citizens. Almost everywhere in this entire village area can be reached via footpath, cutting down on the traffic issues. The high school has a soccer field and a conservatory built nearby. And of course another section of well-to-do houses with slightly lesser well-off apartments near the freeway or near the highway exit to the village. There is the sound blocking barriers. I actually don't know if these do affect noise off the highway or not, but I put them up for looks because I consider to be citizen safety, and it looks nice. It provides a little wall blocking the traffic from the citizens and so forth. We're going to follow the highway, past the sluice gates, over the dam, and out towards the next village area, which comes off of this oval about that I constructed. And in here we have a very large farm area, agriculture area, the Sheffield agricultural area. It's making us a lot of profit. Let's see, we're back in the green again. Making us a lot of profit all the time. It's already a full 5 stars. This is literally the first area I began building in. Was this right here? It's serviced by a farm cargo station, which I downloaded as an asset from the Steam Workshop, which has its own more or less dedicated industrial loop to keep the traffic controlled. I have multiple industries. I have the slaughterhouse. I've got a bakery, flour mills, fire station. I've also included my very large recycling center, which I do believe is another asset I've downloaded, inside this area to supply my recycling. Recycling to me seems like something that belongs in an industrial estate. Worker houses. I do believe these are some porcelial. I can't pronounce this Italian word. It's pigs. We can have pigs in fields. This is essentially a storage for pigs. It says crops, but you know the way the game works. Then, right adjacent to the farm, I have a nice farming town. Graveyard and everything else like that. Notice that some of the cars are parked on the grass. Oh, I found these wonderful 1x1 parking lots on grass. Allows cars to park on the grass. And so forth. It just overall makes it look really nice, because in a village like this you just kind of park wherever you needed to. Yes, some of the cars look extremely expensive and well off. Mercedes-Benz, Ferraris in this farming village. Because City Skylines, wow, I couldn't get there very fast at all. Doesn't really matter if you're rich or poor, you can drive whatever car the game has as an asset. Maybe in some far future update they'll actually make it where, you know, the value of a car is reflected by the value of who lives in the house or whatever. When I originally began building this area, it was largely just farmhouses, all jammed up along dirt roads. But as I kept building under it, I kept changing the roads to make them reflect the more modernizing of the town. There's a small elementary school, the graveyard, and multiple apartment complexes that slowly grew up around the edge. As the town advanced, I even gave them some solar parking areas, just because some of the people would become a little bit less country and a little bit more city, I guess. There are definitely some of the elements of the original place where some denser, smaller houses are connected. But for the most part, all the farm families have slightly larger, nicer land. There's also only the apartments along the outer edge, because they had been the last things that grew up in this area. As more and more people needed to live here to work on the farm, more and more apartment complexes would rise up. I'm keeping this as a large green area with a park and a few other things in it for the most part, to separate it from the noise of the recycling centers and the farm itself. Again, just like the other area of the town, lots of civilian or citizen walking paths, not as many, but plenty to connect the area, and they are being used as people walk and bike to work. The paths in this area are not paved, they are the dirt path with the wooden slatting, which I actually think really looks really good in this section. So, right now the city as it stands looks like this. I am hoping to add a very large city section, right here. There'll be some very tall buildings along the coast of the river, along the banks of the river right here, serviced by this wonderful train station. This train station runs as lines, and eventually splits, going off to another industrial port, or another industrial area, which will hopefully service both a new farm and an ore facility. I'm going to build another section of city up here, which will be served by this train as it comes in right here. I'm not certain yet if I want to take the passenger line and run it over here to like some sort of beachfront villa or shorefront area. But I'm thinking that might be the current plans. Build a shorefront area over here, ignoring the ore sections. I'm not going to mine those. It's just not worth it. And then once I build this section of city here, I can begin building a few other parts around here, pick up some more land, and I can make a nice little ferry system that can go through the lake, which I also want to give a name to eventually. Down from here, I've upgraded this whole road to make it a highway that will eventually be able to help serve these areas, because this is definitely going to be a farm, definitely an industrial area, and this is most likely going to become an industrial area as well. Lots of industry to serve the area. I'm looking for a place I can eventually turn into a forest industry, and I'm thinking maybe a small one down here, or to take another one of these sections and just to fill it in with trees and turn that into a forest area. There's a couple sections I could use for oil, but I honestly don't like setting up I don't like the oil areas. They don't look as cool to me. Although if I ever want to build boats, they may have to become an option. I'll have to debate that in the future. I do eventually want to get over here and build out this way and get some cruise lines and a few other things that come on. And I'm still scouting out an area I think would be good for an airport. Not 100% certain. An airport may go in this section, here, here. Could even build an airport up here. We'll see as time goes on. Could also build an airport by flattening a section of one of the hills, which I have no problems with doing. Well, that's it for this episode of City Skylines with SleeplessRonin. Hope you'll join me for the next one when the towns advance further. Perhaps in the next video, I'll actually take some time and actually show you some of my building techniques. Crime over here. Why is there crime over there? So far from anything else. Whatever. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to be making more of these in the future. Thank you, and goodbye.